With each month that passes by, we are only getting closer to the release of Star Wars Episode 9 by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing I will say that I am really looking forward to seeing in this movie is exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to use some of the flashback sequences in Episode 9 in order to really recreate the characters of Luke, Leia, and Han Solo. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with one of the techniques of recreating Han Solo in Episode 9. Now, what's really intriguing is that it's described that one of the plans to bring in Han Solo for one of the flashback scenes will be to use unused footage of Han from the original trilogy that will be mixed with the footage from The Force Awakens in order to create a new version of Han Solo in between the events of the sequels and originals. On top of all of this, they will be using an aging technology on some footage taken from Han Solo footage from Return of the Jedi and aging the face while applying it to a different body for some shots of Han in the background that will include Luke and Leia's scene in the story. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams is using Episode 9 as a way to really introduce the original trilogy characters, right? The legacy characters to new Star Wars fans as well as hardcore fans as well in order to do something very unique and original in this movie. So, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about them using unused footage, not just for Leia from The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, but also for Han Solo from Return of the Jedi, and aging the face and applying it to a new body? Now, in case you guys did not know, this is their workaround because Harrison Ford is not stepping on board to play the character of Han Solo for Episode 9. As far as we know right now, the deal is basically no deal for, of course, Harrison Ford. There's no way he's going to go back into the Star Wars franchise. He's done, no ifs, ands, or buts. So Disney and Lucasfilm are trying their very hardest in order to recreate the character of Han Solo. So the thing here is this. You would think that Harrison Ford would take the job, or would do something for the fans, or do something around those lines, in order to just come back and do a scene or two. Now, that could always happen, it could always turn around for all we know, but as of right now, there's no deal on that. There's no way of him coming back. So, they're trying to pretty much use salvage footage from Return of the Jedi, unused footage, if you will, and using that as a reference in order to age the character from Return of the Jedi and placing the face onto a different body. Now, this is somewhat similar to what they already did in Return of the Jedi with Anakin Skywalker as Hayden Christensen, or should I say Hayden Christensen as Anakin. They basically placed his face on top of Sebastian's body. So they're going to be doing something similar just like that, except they will be aging the face in order to create an older version of Han Solo in between the events of the originals and the sequels. Think about the Battlefront 2 storyline, right? I don't know if you guys ever played that, but in that story, Han Solo actually has a beard. I don't know if you guys saw those cutscenes. It's on YouTube, it's on Google, you can see it everywhere. And it's a very interesting take on the character that fans never expected to see. So now with Episode 9, J.J. Abrams is doing something just like that, where we're going to see a different version of Han Solo that we never expected to see in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, or even in the Skywalker saga. Like I say, I always would have found it so interesting to see what the 90s versions of Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher would have looked like as the characters of Luke, Leia, and Han Solo. That's exactly what J.J. Abrams wants to capture in Episode 9 and what he really wants to do in this movie in order to give us a different perspective on things of what happened before the events of the sequels. So, like I say, how do I feel about them using Return of the Jedi footage? I say, do whatever you gotta do in order to get the job done. It's a very difficult task for them. This is gonna take a lot of man hours and a lot of work in post-production, and the, visual effects team. It does take a lot of work to pull these things off, and it sounds like it's gonna be pretty complex, to say the least. I'm not even quite sure if, it's gonna really come out to be flawless or not. But we'll have to wait and see. If you look at Tarkin, that was all CGI, motion capture. But in this scenario, they're using older footage and recreating it and using CGI as a supplement in order to recreate the character of Han Solo, as well as hiring different actors in order to provide new pieces of dialogue. Honestly, guys, I think that, they could always get somebody to do new dialogue of Han Solo. I mean, it's not that hard to get somebody that sounds like Harrison Ford. I'm sure that they can cast for that. But when we look at Episode 9, there's a lot of risks at play here for Episode 9. There's a lot of, big things that are going to happen for this movie, and the question is on whether or not that's going to be the good or a bad choice by Disney and Lucasfilm, and if it will actually resonate with fans or not. We'll have to wait and see. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.